How good is your visual memory? Can you recognize the brand by just looking at the design of its can? We're about to find out. What do you say? 7-Up, Sprite, or Mountain Dew? Mountain Dew. And what about this green can? That's 7-Up. Can you recognize this beverage? Pepsi, Nestea, or Red Bull? The correct answer is Nestea. Let's take a look at this bold orange can. Can you guess the brand which belongs here? Iron Brew, Fanta, or Lipton? Fanta. What about this blue can? Does it look familiar? Pepsi. Can you recognize the brand behind this red can? Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, or Tab? See this little white stripe? That's Coca-Cola's design. Here's the next can. Sprite, Schweppes, or Nestea? What do you say? This lemon looks so familiar, doesn't it? Sprite. Great job. Shelly wants to go to a party with her classmates. She asks her father's permission, but he says, "No way. You better spend this weekend in the country with your grandparents. They've just moved to a cute new house." Shelly only uses this as an excuse to leave the house. In reality, she goes to the party. When she comes back after the weekend, Shelly's father asks her, "What were you doing at your grandparents' house?" Shelly replies, "I've been mostly studying upstairs." Her father immediately knows that Shelly's lying, but he didn't even call his parents to ask about Shelly's visit. How did he understand? Shelly said she spent her days upstairs, but her parents live in a one-story house. Bob likes orange, but at the same time, he hates it. Can you explain this mystery? Bob likes orange fruit and hates the orange color, or vice versa. This Friday, Bob returns from a business trip and finds out that his wife, Elle, disappeared. She didn't leave any clues, and all her stuff and her phone are at home. Bob calls the police. They question 4 people that they found her in recent calls. Elle's brother says, "I called her in the morning. 2 days ago, her dentist removed her last wisdom tooth. She felt severe pain and didn't go to work." Bob says, "I've just returned from my business trip. I've been in another state for a week." Elle's coworker says, "She took a day off today, but I'm not sure why." And her dentist says, "Here's an ultrasound scan of Elle's teeth made on Thursday. We're supposed to treat cavities on her wisdom tooth today, but Elle didn't show up. So I called her to postpone our meeting." Who's lying? It's the brother. According to his story, Elle got rid of her wisdom teeth on Wednesday. But this contradicts the dentist's story. Take a closer look at the scan. It was really made on Thursday. Bella sends a selfie to her new boyfriend, and he replies with this weird message. Can you help Bella figure out what's going on? Bella's boyfriend is very modest. This rebus means, "too good for me." And now, let's see if you can guess the beverage by emoji. Here's the first rebus. Any ideas? Red Bull. Great job. Let's go ahead and try to crack this code. Chocolate shake. What about this one? Strawberry milkshake. Next rebus, what do you say? 7-Up. Can you guess this beverage? It's easier than it looks. Fruit juice. If you manage to crack the next rebus, you're a genius. That's just Fanta! Let's see if you can crack this mystery. Orange juice, obviously. What about this rebus? Any ideas? Iced coffee. What about this one? The correct answer is Mountain Dew. Someone had put a sleeping curse on Glenda, the richest witch in town. It happened between 8 to 10 p.m. The police find 4 suspects among her closest friends. Jessica, her nephew, is a young witch. She doesn't have magic powers yet. Christina, Glenda's family fortune teller for 30 years. Luke, her cousin, who's in depression because his favorite dog Wanda ran away 2 weeks ago. And finally, Mr. Washington, a lawyer who helps Glenda run her business. The police officer asked them just one question. What were you doing yesterday between 8 to 10 p.m.? Here's what they tell the police. I was in the library learning new spells. I was buying some new tarot decks for my collection. I was walking my dog, Wanda. I was studying some documents in my office. Who is lying? It's Luke. His dog Wanda ran away 2 weeks ago. Kyle's parents are leaving for the weekend. He throws a little party in his family's house and invites 3 people, Tim, Sam, and Mia. The guests arrive and the party begins. At some point, Kyle notices that someone had stolen all the jewelry from his parents' bedroom. Kyle believes it must be one of the guests and questions everyone. Each guest makes 2 statements, 1 truth and 1 lie. Tim says, I wasn't in the house when it happened. I know Mia stole the jewelry. Sam says, Mia's the thief. I saw it. I already have enough jewelry. And finally, Mia says, I didn't steal the jewelry. Tim tells the truth. He wasn't in the house. Who stole the jewelry? If Tim is the thief, both of his statements would have been false. If Mia is the thief, then all of Tim's statements would have been true, which is against the conditions. Therefore, Sam is the thief. Can you recognize this beverage brand? Tropicana. What about this rebus? Can you decode these emojis? Dr. Pepper. Next rebus. Any ideas? That's Lipton. I bet you can crack our next one. Easier said than done, right? That's Nescafe. Let's go ahead and solve this mystery. Cappuccino. What about this rebus? That's Minute Maid. Any idea what this might be? Starbucks. Fiona goes to the supermarket and texts her sister asking what to buy. Instead of giving a clear answer, her sister sends this. Can you guess what she means? She asks Fiona to buy Oreo cookies. Kitty comes to her flower shop early in the morning and finds out that the most expensive lilies had been stolen. She calls the police. The detective arrives at the shop and questions Kitty. Kitty says, I closed the shop at 10 p.m. and went home. The lilies were in the shop when I was leaving. The detective finds 3 suspects and visits their houses. The guard says, I was on duty last night. Perhaps the thief snuck into the shop when I was on another floor. A barista from the neighboring coffee shop says, I closed my shop at 8 p.m. and went home right after that. And the cleaning lady says, I have a severe allergy to lilies. I can't even enter this shop. Who is lying? The cleaning lady. She has a lily among her home plants, so she can't be allergic to this flower. Someone used black magic to turn a billionaire named Frank into an ice cube. Frank's wife, Sophie, calls the police. They need to hurry up to cancel the spell before Frank melts. The detective decides to talk to Sophie first. He asks, "What happened?" Sophie replies, "I don't know. He was on the phone all day. I was upstairs and I only heard some mumbling." The detective searches the crime scene and finds a note. There's a weird number combination on this note. The detective takes out his phone, calls his office, and says, "I've solved the case. I know who cursed Frank." What about you? If you decode the numbers in Frank's note, you'll get wife. Therefore, Sophie herself is the Black Witch.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side. Let's see if you know cars well. Starting with logos, I'll show you two, and you'll have to find the correct one. I'm starting with something too easy. Alright, what's the correct Audi logo? This one, of course. Toyota is the best-selling car brand in the world. Can you find the right logo? Yes, of course, it's this one. Let's move to Ford. Where is it? Yep, it's this one on the right. Next up, Volvo. What's your call? Yes, it's this one. Moving on, BMW. By the way, the logo depicts the flag of the German state Bavaria, the home state of BMW cars. So, which one is it? Ah, it's this one. Lexus cars have only been around for 33 years. The brand was founded in 1989. Did you have enough time to learn the logo? Here it is. Now, initially, the Peugeot company was founded as a coffee mill back in 1810. Since 1886, they have been making cars that don't smell like coffee. So, what's the correct logo? That's the one. Now they're prestige, but the first Lamborghini models were tractors. Anyways, what's the logo? Here it is. Fiat is an acronym for this Italian phrase, which when translated means Italian Automobile Factory Turin. Turin is an Italian city. So, what's the correct logo? That's the one. Tesla is even younger than Lexus. It was founded in 2003. What's the logo? It's this one. Now, can you find the correct logo of Alfa Romeo? Yeah, here it is. What about Dodge? Can you recognize it? It's right here. Ford founded the Mercury brand, and it's 83 years old. It's not the most well-known car brand, but can you find the correct logo? It's this one. Now, I'll give you two real logos, and you have to tell me which one is the one I ask you about. For example, here, which logo is the Hyundai logo? It's this one on the left. The one on the right is Honda. Here are two more. Which is the Chevrolet logo? It's the one on the right. The left one is Citroën. Which one here is Renault's logo? The right one. The left one is Mazda. Now, which one is Subaru, left or right? It's the left one. The right one is Suzuki. Next up, Mitsubishi. Which one is that? The left one. The right one is Opel. Daewoo is a South Korean brand. Which one is it here? It's the right one. The left one is Infiniti, a luxury division of Nissan. Okay, another pair, and your task is to find Cadillac. Is it left or right? It's the right one, and the left one is, of course, Porsche. Now the task will be a bit harder. I will show you the cars, and you have to guess which brand it is. Let's start with this one. What do you think? That's Lamborghini. Yeah, I told you they were making tractors. Okay, let's go for something simpler, like this one. For example, I bet you know it. That's a Tesla, of course. Okay, another easy one. What's your guess? That's a Jeep. Can you recognize this one? Of course, it's a Volkswagen Beetle. Okay, here's a new one. Quite famous, you must know this brand. It's a Bentley. I have two of those. No. The most common car brand in the world. Which one? Yeah, that's a Toyota. Next up, what's your call? That's Mercedes. Quite fancy. What car brand do you think it is? That's a Land Rover. That's the world's most expensive car in the world. So, what do you think? That's a Ferrari, particularly a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. It costs $70 million, not counting the gas you'll need. Okay, now I'll show you some logos, and your task is to guess the car brand. Easy? Let's go. Starting with this one. What is it? Skoda. It's a Czech brand. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know this one too. What brand is it? That's Nissan. Okay, now off to more expensive cars. Do you know this one? That's Rolls-Royce. Do you know this one? It's Italian. This is a Maserati logo. Vroom, vroom. That's a luxury Honda. What's your guess? Ah, Acura. Okay, here's a cutie. You for sure know it. Of course, that's a Mini Cooper. A British sports car. Do you know this brand? That's Aston Martin. Another easy one for you. We talked about it today. Yeah, that's the most expensive car brand, Ferrari. Oh, an Australian one. Do you know it? That's Holden, and it was founded in 1856, so quite old. That's a tough one, but maybe you know it. What do you think? Daihatsu. It's a Japanese brand. Now, the most hardcore part for real pros. I'll show you cars from the inside, and you have to guess the car brand. Do you think you can manage it? Let's see. Here's the first one. What's your call? That's a regular Toyota. Did you recognize it? Okay, let's see something fancier. What do you think? That's Mercedes-Benz. Okay, next one. Can you guess? That's the interior of Lincoln Aviator. Yeah, I know, it was pretty impossible. I warned you it'd be hard. Try this one. That's my Bentley. I mean, a Bentley. Okay, last one. What's your guess? It's a Jaguar Land Rover.